how it all ends. 800 damage. Oh my god. The second match change with these delays.
Oh, that's really...
No delays, no Sphere Karibos. Tazkin Levica goes into the lane. Just takes it back.
And hello everyone, I hope you hear me well. I hope everything is working correctly. I hope the sound of Duel Links is not too loud. I'm thinking it might be too loud. If it is, please, as always, let me know, of course. I'm, of course, not here alone. I was just testing 1 or 2 things, but of course, I am not here alone. I am, as you can see on the stream, in the company of I am Disturbia. How you doing, my friend?
All very good. Thank you very much for having me again, and yeah, having a good day, and hopefully the rest also have a good day.
Yeah, definitely.
Or had a good day.
So please, of course, as we jump into the first match right away, this is perfect timing. Please let me know, as always, if the sound is too loud, the in-game sound. If you hear Disturbia well and everything, I will adapt and adjust if needed. But yeah, please do let me know for that. Anyway, we are in for the first match. So what do we got? Shadow Game on Sham's side versus we'll see what Bendiky from Official.
24 cards. So yeah, 24 cards was Element Saber. Pretty much can also be Neos with Invoked, but I mean it's going to be strange to have that much cards.
Oh,
actually, he does. He does. Yeah. Neos Invoked.
Yep. Neos Invoked, doing exactly what the deck is supposed to be doing, fast Purgatrio. With this deck, contrary to Element Sabers, you all know you cannot play Malu anymore in Element Sabers, so no Purgatrio turn 1-2. But with this deck, who cares? You have Volcanic Shells, so you can do that way easier. How you doing,
exactly.
Dicky bro? How you doing, everyone? Welcome. Happy to see you guys.
Me too as well. Welcome everybody. No, it's going to be funny because with your stream, I know there's going to be like, I'd say, different viewers. Like, in my own stream, I would love to know why this is the first time I got that in like the previous Team Wars. It was, I'd say, half of the people were Korean. Like, I never got that, and I was so happy because, like, obviously I have a friend of mine who is Korean who also does stream Duel Links, but that was very unexpected. So I was like, well, I'll try to understand why. And at the end of the Team Wars, I realized that one of the members on Forbidden Memories is actually Korean as well.
Yeah, we'll see. But so, I mean, it also depends a lot on whose teams, right? Like, who are we casting? Because like, if you are casting Korean teams, of course, it always depends. But what I like to see also is that is that is week 10. So like then we're getting close to the end, I would say, or to the playoffs, which is like not the end yet, but we're getting close to this. So it's also going to be interesting to see, and on top of that, new ban list, you know, that thing. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we're going to have in the future weeks, based on everything that changes, with a new box as well for Tuesday, I think, for Europe.
Which hopefully we do not mention anything about the box, except Megalith, which I can accept, but
yeah.
You see. Like, I woke up and I had many people telling me, please, have you seen the new box? And I just checked one thing and I was like, unbelievable.
Yeah,
well, no, I'm not going to specify much on the box. And there's also one more fun fact I wanted to bring, and I don't think there's that much Korean teams or competitive teams. I've seen there's, I believe, Sen, S-E-N, which is, I think all the people there is Korean. And I don't know, I guess maybe there are some Korean in like international teams like Forbidden Memories with Galv, but I don't know much about the competitive side of the Korean country.
I know a lot of like Japanese competitors, but it's true I know less for the others. And oh, thanks for the raid, Duel Links Lounge 128. Thanks a lot.
Holy, darn with a big raid
Yeah,
there.
I'm reading red. How you doing, Cosmic Flare? How you doing, my dude? And yeah, I have crease runs. What will I do after the ban list? Well, you will just still play them because they are still playable. Actually, I don't believe any deck was killed by the ban list. Cyber Dragon was hit really hard. The others were hit, definitely hit, but they're not dead. Like none of them are like completely dead or anything. So not to worry. If you had a deck before ban list that was competitive, I think you can definitely keep playing them.
Exactly. Like indeed, due to the ban list, there's going to be like more restrictions on some of the decks, but there are still some others which or are untouched, or you just need to think of another way to play the deck, which isn't really killing it. Like a lot of people told me that Cyber Dragon will die and it will die and it will die, but the thing is no, everybody was just playing the Onika version as it is efficient because you reduce your own life points. You get to summon some very nice cutie pie Cyber Proto Dragons on your field. Very nice. That was just the fast way.
Yeah,
so now you'll have to go slowly. You'll have to take all the steps on the stairs just to achieve the big dong from the Cyber Dragon archetype. And I think it can be entertaining. Who knows? I still think Cyber Dragon is playable.
Yeah, definitely. So now we're seeing on the field, surprising, a set window. Like, so yes, of course there was a set window. Now we're gonna go for directly the ulti pedal fin. You don't want to give, like, the problem of course is that, well, what do you do against the Purgatrio, right? So rip on this one. That's Ritual Beast for you. No kidding, of course the matchup is pretty bad. Usually you can do much against Purgatrio, and that's why Official Ace right away decided to go for the Purgatrio turn 1, because it's very aggressive, but you can put so much pressure on a Ritual Beast deck if the Ritual Beast doesn't have like an Elder plus another monster play, or kind of Hawk plus spell, whatever. Wait, are they going in right away again?
Yes, they went again, fast. So I don't think there's repeat. I'll tell you if there's any repeat. Yeah, there's no repeat. Also, it's very risky to go repeat. At the beginning you can do, but in terms of matchup, that's clearly a bad one. Like, every time you play Ritual Beast against a deck that uses Invoked, do not play Ritual Beast, almost.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. But yeah, no, definitely, I mean, that's definitely a fact. And Sham in the chat saying 10-1 is real, so we're gonna see if it is real. And
I mean, 10-1 was real. I do agree, but the thing is, with which deck it's going to be? That's the question.
Apparently with Dark Magician, so let's see. Dark Magician, so I'm correct saying that this is using the new ban list. I'm not completely crazy on that. Everything is new ban list, so based on that, Dark Magician got hit, but Dark Magician's still here. So yeah.
Actually, a weak beginning, so like a circle and a set card only. So that means he maybe have what he needs, but there's still the chances that that Official Lass is going to get a Cosmic Cyclone. And if that is the case, he will have baited him to just use navigation, and then he just banishes the circle, and that should be over. So we'll see what happens. First of all, Vocation, so that means he has the Volcanic Shell in the hand, going to use it to get himself a Purgatrio.
Yep, and on the other side, as you said, well, I mean, it could be automatically a navigation, as always. The other thing that some people are playing now with Dark Magician is, since you have less chances of going like turn 1 full combo. I think before it was 44%, now it's 37% or something. So since you have less chances, some people now start playing Karma Cuts, or even like some Raigeki Break, but mostly Karma Cut to kind of compensate the not being able to vanish on turn 1. It's not ideal, of course, but it's still something you're seeing. So let's see if he has something, or if that's just gonna be a straight up eye attack and that's it.
Yeah, plus if he activates navigation, that's worse. Obviously he'll have to like wait, because Purgatrio can do as much attacks as there are enemies on the field.
Yeah.
So the best is to receive the attack as it is.
Most likely.
The main issue though is what Lass has in hand. Yeah. We know he has like one Aleister, one Volcanic Shell, but there's the third card, we have no idea what it is.
The big risk, oh, does he have double Aleister?
No. No.
He does.
I gave Karm. Oh my goodness.
Salute, mi
That's my
familia.
That
Yep,
is my fault.
10-1 is not happening. Yeah. Thanks for participating to this match, Sham. But no, also the reason why. So the reasoning, because I'm sure Sham had something in the back, right? He had a navigation. The problem is, if he uses navigation and then he can use circle on the Purgatrio, but what if one of the card in Officer Lay's hand is a Cosmic Cyclone? Then circle is banished, no effect, and then you can OTK through with the 2 DMs basically, or if not OTK, you can at least get rid of them, then there's nothing on the field anymore for Sham, and he basically loses out of it.
Exactly. And after seeing the duel, well, he pretty much, and sadly, he didn't have any ways to actually come back. So in case he uses navigation, well, wait, he could banish Purgatrio.
He could banish Purgatrio if no Cosmic Cyclone, because we know
Exactly.
that's always the second advantage of this deck. Element Saber cannot play Cosmic Cyclones, or you in some tournaments might see one being cited instead of a field spell, but usually you don't. And because of that, well, in this deck you can play the Cosmic Cyclones. That's also why you play Bandit Keith.
Exactly, because there's basically no Element Saber. It's a way different kind of deck since you use Neos, you also use Invoked, which doesn't really have that much cards that are semi-limited. Like, you'll obviously have Fusion Neos, which is semi-limited to 2, but if we're talking about the semi-limited 3 cards, there's none, pretty much. So you can feel free to put 3 Cosmic Cyclone as you wish.
But I mean, yeah. But of course, I mean, to kind of like help the case of Sham, he was not playing Crystron, so automatically he cannot win, because that's what Sham does. He plays Crystron, he wins. No Crystron, no win. But sorry for that. Happens, and I mean, a good call, of course, from the Armades army, because, well, you go with an aggressive deck with a very good matchup here against Ritual Beast. Second matchup was actually pretty okay, and we've seen potentially one of the flaws of the new Dark Magician deck, which is, do you open full combo? Well, you don't have the rod at 3 anymore, so that's of course an issue.
I think the new way of playing Dark Magician will become, I think it will be played a lot around Magician of Dark Illusion. I think this is the new way of playing the deck, which means in terms of spells and traps, you're not going to forcefully play so many that list Dark Magician, but pretty much staples. So because you're using staple, you're like, okay, I use something, and then you're like, well, I'm able to special summon something, and what is this thing? A Magician of Dark Illusion. That filthy man that just special summons itself like that randomly. Nobody asked it for him, but he's still special summon, and because his name is actually becoming Dark Magician, if you have the circle, you can banish a card on the side of your opponent. So if you have this kind of combo, it can be actually pretty interesting. I don't know, there might be some chances that we see instead this version, and I don't know if there's actually going to be a version that plays with navigation or anything. Maybe they're going to play like the real Dark Magician plus the Magician, the Magician of Dark Illusion.
Yeah.
I still wonder about how the deck list should actually look. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like again the decks, the ban list just hit the consistency of every single deck. I mean, Cyber Dragon is less consistent now because you have one less overflow. On top of that, I mean, on top of hitting the consistency of every deck, you hit like Cyber Dragon is hit, Chernu is hit, Crystron is hit, DM of course is hit, but on top of that, you have also the fact that all these decks, well, some already couldn't, but now all of these decks cannot play, as you said, like Staple, like no TTH, no Hatrinade, like it's the same with Dragunity, who are not able to play Hatrinade anymore, and I'm apparently Disturbia joining the match right now.
I'm just saying hello simply.
Yep.
Alright, so currently we're waiting for the next play on the side of Forbidden Ones. No, I'm not going to lie that in terms of matchup against that kind of deck, it's not one of the easiest ones. You can indeed still find this deck from other teams, but it's not one of the most played. So when it comes... Well, hello?
Yep.
Just go up. Wait, who is VNN actually? I think I'm confused. I think it's the next player from Forbidden Wars, isn't it?
Yep.
No, I don't think. No,
probably
it's not. It's Vini. It's Vini. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm glad I just checked. Okay, so the real player just joined. Not going to spoil until the name pops. Well, what else can I start as a little theme? I don't know. I still hope that the meta will give us like new decks to be on the tier list. Like, Witchcrafter needs to be on the tier list nowadays. At least tier 3.
Yeah.
Tier 2, I think it already has the potential for that, since it counters a lot of decks, opponents' decks. But I think they're going to be quite restrictive because Shiranu actually is a matchup that can defeat, in my opinion, Witchcrafter. Element Saber will do it as well, I believe. I think it does.
Yeah, I mean the problem is my 2 cents about the upcoming meta is more that we're gonna see like more back row being played just from the fact that DM will be less everywhere in tournaments. So less DMs means you can play more back row because like there is no like combo of circle banishing one and then navigation negate the other. So that could be a thing. And potentially, well, yeah, we would see potentially more back row, meaning that the decks that play well against back row will get a basically an indirect boost. So like Heroes, Ritual Beast, for instance. But on the other side, I mean, like Witchcrafter doesn't like back row at all, so I'm not really sure it's helping. So yeah.
Oh la la, that opening seems very bad. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
That hurts. Surely a Cosmic Cyclone that he doesn't use indeed. Yeah, he's forced to not use it in this situation particularly, and the worst, well, I don't know if he plays Skytroid, but if he does, he's still going to be fine.
Yeah,
some Cyber Dragons do actually play Skytroid, which obviously really helps the deck. Let's say if you're not playing cards like Concentrated Current or...
Well, with the ban list, Skytroid is complicated.
Well, right now, indeed. So it will be Sphere Karibo at least.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be Sphere.
I still find it pretty nasty though. The ban list was actually really hitting Cyber Dragon for that kind of side, because if you did the combination with Concentrated Current, that was a big boost of attack. If it was with Kytra, that was to protect yourself from an attack. And you could also maybe, if you wanted, play World Clash Legacy, which is not mandatory. If you want to play, you can. It's just a way to protect one of your monsters that you have on the field.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we're not even fully sure it's Sidra because like Zane Truesdale has other skills that are interesting, but since he bricked like this, I would expect it's Sidra breaking. We might never know.
There's clearly an answer. So
okay,
a normal Karibo, alright?
I know what it is. Karibo just gives it away. It's not Sphere Karibo, it's a normal Karibo. That means you keep the monster in offense. That means Luminite.
I'm trying to understand why he did take the first attack and not this. Yeah, okay. That's good. Okay.
Yeah. That's
not
the
a
beauty that's the beauty of playing that Karibo, is you keep the monster in offense. But Lunalite has an issue though. It's still now Fox is limited to 2. So well, I guess it's not that horrible. Just that you can't play Hatronade or TTH anymore, somewhat. And yeah, that being an issue as well. But yeah, he took the damage.
Yeah, good negation here.
Depending on... Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't need to take more because Master Fusion is only 1000. So now...
Exactly.
He has 2 monsters. So the second monster in hand is... The other card in hand is a monster. If it is Fox, this could get fun. If it is not Fox, this would just be like delaying.
We'll actually really pay attention to that phase down. The phase down actually determines the issue of the match, in my opinion. Oh la la. Raigeki Break, which is really going to counter the use of the polymerization, which means there's not going to be any fusion.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is not gonna end well for Belban. Oh, yeah, I just realized the names are
We actually
reversed.
got entirely countered because Raigeki Break, while you're trying to do the fusion, if you don't have any more monsters, you're basically countered. So not only Fiendish Chain stopped the use of the effect of the monster, but also Raigeki Break destroying it, that was complete counter.
Yep.
So far, the Officer Last has insane openings.
Yeah.
Typical of an officer, he's not joking, that's why he's in the army.
Definitely. No, but and on top of that, I mean, his opponents are not having the best openings ever, to be honest. Having pretty bad openings even, to say the least. The question is, are they going to repeat? Because I believe the matchup is somewhat... Oh wait, I'm saying 0-3. Sham is...
I think matchup is risky, but it can be done. It can be done for sure.
I would, yeah. I mean, always depend on the next deck, right? Is it a deck that also can beat this, or are they repeating?
They're repeating.
Yep, they are. Okay, perfect. Repeat it is. So let's see. I do believe, like I said, that the matchup is way better actually than what we just saw. But yeah, I don't know.
That's Luna Light at its best, in my opinion. It's really a strange deck overall because, how shall I say, you try to find a way to actually deal 5 attacks against your opponent, which is the best win condition if the opponent only has like monsters in defense, for example, or something
like
of that kind.
Skill.
Yep.
Yeah, the skill, of course, for those who are less used maybe to Lunar Light, of course, Fatal 5, this skill that says that if you attack 5 times in a duel, you just win. So that was used in Lunar Light. I would say it's less now, definitely. This one is, as we saw, Master Fusion 1. But Fatal 5 is still something pretty interesting.
Okay. The reason why a lot more people are going for Massive Fusion is to avoid a break and to be able to secure yourself fusion, which is, in my opinion, a good choice.
It's a fusion, and also it allows you to double fusion in one turn.
Exactly.
So that's
in case you have the Lunalite fusion or even the polymerization. So for good opening, having the Martin in the graveyard to just special summon the Martin to just have that little defense.
Yeah, no, definitely that is a pretty good setup, because if you have a sphere, not a sphere Kuribo, but just a Kuribo, as we saw, you're in a pretty good place here. You don't have like anything that's very dangerous, I'd say. So yeah, like definitely a good setup. And the problem is that this deck put a crazy pressure on your opponent, because you have this threat of Fox all the time that can just put a monster to 0 and it's OTK. So you have to play around that 24/7, always have some way to protect your monsters, because if you don't, if you go aggressive and it doesn't work out, you usually lose. On top of that, all the decks in the meta right now summon monsters from the extra deck, which allows, of course, Lunalites to summon their own fusion monster way easier by using monster from the deck.
Exactly. Plus, another interesting thing about the Lunalites is that the 2 fusions of the archetype that have been added are actually, I'd say, they have a synergy between themselves. You're having one that cannot be destroyed by battle and one that is not affected by card effects, which are pretty solid effects to defend themselves, and they pretty much have a way to do an ODK if you are able to use the effect of Crimson Fox on an enemy monster, because you reduce the attack of the opponent monster to 0 and it gives him an opening to just defeat him. So for Purgatio, then the Neos sending the Bacon Saber.
Yeah, they're still gonna push for it. I guess they could still have something to defend themselves. I mean, of course, if like Officer Lace has like a Sphere Kuribo, he's pretty safe. He doesn't seem to have any back row, so I'm hoping that he actually has some defensive hand trap, because otherwise this is looking pretty bad. Again, like just a Kuribo on the other side from Belban is enough to survive, so. I mean, I'm seeing in the chat people and like who's it? Sound Shell. Yeah, I do. Indeed, he's opening everything as you said, but I would say the Neos is indeed something that you don't open every turn. But even that, I mean, you have the Keepers to draw the Neos Fusion. You have like 3 Alistair for the other one. So I mean, it's not that crazy actually to open with these 2 fusions. That's the beauty of the deck, indeed.
So right now Belban is trying to think if he should use the creep or not, because if he does not, Officer Lask will have the timing to actually increase, I believe, the attack of the Brave Neos by just using a Leicester, I think.
So as we saw, there nothing was used, just survived with 900 life points. So now, of course, Master Fusion is way past being usable, and we can. I don't think it's even needed here. I hope for Fizzlex that he has something in hand, because otherwise this is...
Might go for Master Fusion later. It depends on what he has as a monster. He's just going to do the first fusion as he has the spell. In case he didn't have, he was forced to do one at least, so...
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to chill. He's going to go for the Cat Dancer. Fair enough. Very nice.
I mean, this is potential TK with Fox. You just
and
put, like,
he's going
the
to...
Neos.
Okay, yep. Brave Neos. One of the best you can have.
Of course, keep in mind that the Bacon Saver is in the graveyard, so there is that protection, which is somewhat of a protection, but if you have enough resources right now to go like Master of Fusion into the bigger fusion, the level 9, then you can pretty much play around the Bacon Saver, but that depends on what Belban has in hand, of course. On top of that,
since he has polymerization, he should be able to get the... I think he saved enough resources to be able to do Saber Dancer.
He needs 3 in hands if he wants to fully play around the fusion, though.
Well, he can have 2 in hand and 1 on the field.
Yeah, but if he does that, then he has no fodder to for the Cat Dancer effect, so he would only be able to attack with
and he actually had a second Crimson Fox in hand, which is going to reduce the attack of the Purgatria to 0 again, I believe, or it's only once per turn. No, it's not once per turn. It is activated. Yeah, exactly. Pretty interesting. Crimson Fox does not list once per turn at all, so...
No, that's the strength of the card, definitely. Oh, what?
Yeah, fair enough. I see why he's doing that. He's not even going to care, because what is going to basically happen is one of his attacks is negated, but he has more attacks to do.
True.
So he's going to have like 3 attacks remaining actually. So
yeah, no, I see the point. Yeah, because if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have been able to do... I mean, he would have been able to attack that many times, but the Bacon Saver would have been enough to survive. So...
Actually, you need to do the tribute to be able to... actually, you needed to do the tribute to be able to attack 4 times.
Yeah.
Because you attack twice each monster.
No.
If you didn't do the tribute, that will be like 2 attacks, which will lead Officer Last to be able to do more fusions the next turn.
Yeah, no. The part where I was like, why is he doing that is because he made the fusion of the second one, and I was like, why don't you just tribute a monster? But the thing is, by fusioning a second one, he was able to put a second fox in the graveyard, and thanks to that, he was able to decrease the attack of both monsters, though, and this way he was playing successfully around the Bacon Saver.
Exactly, like this time Belban really had the opening by having these 2 Crimson Foxes, which gave him the win. Plus, no matter if the opponent had a Leicester, he will have lost since he reduced big attacks. Like, you just put the monsters to 0 attack. Like, they're pathetic monsters, you know what? They're pathetic soldiers. They're not even happy the officer. So that's what happened basically. But
so this is the first loss for Lace. and we're seeing 3-1 now. Forbidden One finally going for it. So let's see. Of course,
they might be forbidden, but they'll be back.
Yeah. Always making a mistake on this, but like, yeah, no. I mean, also another thing is that Forbidden Ones is 4-5 right now in the season. So of course, ending it in 5-5 would at least be something that pretty nice. On the other side, of course, Armades Army had a pretty tough season, but I mean, I can't say much because I'm from Chilling with Chilla, lol. So we know what tough season are. But I mean, I think they would still be pretty happy to end on a good note, of course, as always, like Chilling with Chilla actually did. So yeah, let's see how it goes for them.
I mean, Chilling with Chilla is a better team than GLF. Not going to lie.
Well, yeah. But the fun fact with Chilling with Chilla history is I've been there since like the first season of Team Wars, and I've been in Chilling with Chilla since the first season. And the more we became serious about the whole Team Wars thing, like having a coach, training, deck testing, planning the teams, the decks and everything, the more we did that, the worse our performance became. Like literally, like I'm not even lying. Like the first few seasons we were doing great. We reached playoffs. Then we started being more serious, hoping to actually be able to win a season. It went way bad. Then 2 seasons ago we're like, okay, now this time we just want to chill and have a chill season. You know, we're not gonna try hard that time. We reached playoffs. And then we went back to, okay, now let's get serious and win this, and we again didn't make playoffs. So every time we try hard, we don't perform.
A bit contradictory there. Like, there's so many factors when it comes to like planify the kind of strategies while using the deck and try to think which decks should play against what. And honestly, some matches can become unexpected. So for example, I've done a screen yesterday with Raffles ID, which I want to give them shoutouts because the screen we've done yesterday was absolutely marvelous. And there was a moment where we were against an 11 Saber, and with my team we brought a Fortune Lady. And pretty funny, but Fortune Lady destroys 11 Saber completely. And I think if you also play, if you have like Brionac and you play Psychic Wielder, it could become even more interesting because it may have chances to destroy an opponent monster. Plus you have Brionac, which you discard and you send cards back to the hand or extra deck. So it's always about, I think there's always a lot of surprising elements.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't say much. Not only is there the RNG side where you play Duel Links because it's a card game like anything else, but there's also the fact that even if you try hard or not try hard, you will make mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. No, but the thing is, as we see on the stream right now, we already have one lowly archetype. So we already have Witchcrafter. Sorry, but we can't put Fortune Lady on top of that. I mean, overwhelming lowlies.
I mean, I do agree that the drawings of how shall I say, Witchcrafter is more appealing than the ones you can see on Fortune Lady. But one thing that is important is that Fortune Ladies, they're pretty much noble compared to what Witchcrafter are.
Yeah, Fortune Lady are noble. I wonder if Witchcrafter are legal. That's the only thing. But anyway, back to the actual. Actually, I had to do this. Because I was watching the artwork of like Madame Vere. By the way, I love how like American people try to pronounce Madame Vere, which is like Madame Vere, which is the best thing ever. Or when they try to pronounce Schmieta, which is actually a German word, but
yes,
it's still pretty funny to see that. But of course,
it's actually a very interesting archetype because you have like different words from like different languages. You take N and Ver, they're French words. Pittore sounds like Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian.
You have Schmieta, which is
well, Schmieta is German. It's actually like blacksmith.
So funny because You pronounce it
Then-
Schmieta, and I always pronounced it Schmita.
Yeah, well, just I mean, my German is
That's
definitely
funny.
far from being perfect, right? But like, it's just.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
some-
I'm not even
it's
saying
something
that
around
German
that.
is
It's something
bad or
around
that it's far from perfect, but it's more like it's very interesting the way you pronounce it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
that.
But I have no
I
idea if
didn't
it's a good
expect to pronounce the
pronunciation.
E. I thought you skipped the E. You know, like you're a rebel. You skip the E because it's German.
No,
I
but yeah,
thought
no.
that because
And-
the French does exactly the same. You speak a language, you have an E, you skip it. Fuck the E. It is a useless letter. It is here for decoration. No, that's how I felt. But
Yeah, and
okay.
and yeah, as you said, in Pittore is it's actually painter in Italian. That's one of the few words I know. But anyway, yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely. I mean, Witchcrafter is definitely a great deck. We're seeing it right now with Madame Vert just being like, "Hey, you can't do anything against me, lol." But yeah, so to just get back to some things I read in the chat. Tenma, Aankara is giving the worst life lessons. True, in life, go hard, try hard. Duel Links, I don't know, do whatever. And yeah, Idiki bro, that's I totally agree with the fact that the first few seasons were way less competitive than now. But that's why I specifically said that like 2 and 3 seasons ago, we actually didn't try hard. We kind of wanted a break from tryharding with Chilling with Chila, and it went way better. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, I love Team Wars, and I love any team competitions, whether it's Team Wars or all the others. But I will always say something, is that instead of having 1 or 2 decks, you add like 10 times more variable to the match. And sure, you can plan, sure you can try to guess, sure you can theorize, sure you can check what your opponent is doing, sure you can have a whole strategy, but you're never sure about it. And it's so important to have that fitting strategy that sometimes if you take a bet, and you usually take a bet because you're never 100% sure of whatever you're bringing,
yeah.
sometimes it just fails. And we've seen it multiple times in Team Wars with teams that, make a guess that's a pretty educated guess and a pretty logical guess, but the guess ends up being wrong nonetheless because the other team decided to change things up for once. And just because of that, you get screwed. You go 0-4, and your whole Team Wars match is screwed from that, and you don't come back. So it's always the thing that, like, I mean, you see that I'm casting more than I'm playing. I'm still in the Chilling with Chila roster every season, but I play less because I'm simply like, enjoying watching, enjoying casting, but less enjoying playing. Though I still love playing Duel Links, so that's the something I wanted to add to like Ideki's answer.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
feel it. Like I actually have exactly the same feeling when I'm like casting my own tournaments or even casting the Team Wars. Like that's the feeling I have. I love commentating because there's the part where you can try to understand the way the players are actually going to play. Plus, it makes you learn about some of the strategies, which is why when I like then begin to test some decks or just deck lists that I'm doing myself, it can be interesting to like create a different playstyle of the deck or just simply play it. Because you've seen the duels and you've understood how a deck should maybe be played,
Yeah.
and it's always interesting when you're, as a commentator, watching the duel.
Definitely. And yet I've become a voyeur of Duel Links. But I want to make things clear though. Of course, I'm not saying that people who perform in Team Wars or teams that win Team Wars got lucky. Of course, far from that. But it's a card game. You always need a bit of luck. And by playing like 5 versus 5 with 10 decks, the RNG part automatically increase. Also, it's still a fact that like if you don't try hard, if you play YOLO, won't work out for you. But luck is a factor in any card game, and I believe that like you see it in any other team competition. I mean, I played competition on Hearthstone in teams, and trust me, the RNG factor is horrible when it comes to team competition.
I mean, it's very funny the fact that you mentioned Hearthstone, because since Hearthstone and Shadowverse are like similar games when it comes to card, I do agree that it's getting pretty nasty. Now, I don't really know about the deck lists you can find on Hearthstone.
No,
I don't know if they are like truly harsh, because since I'm playing Shadowverse, I think you take Duel Links and you take Shadowverse and you see the tier list. So Duel Links, you're like, oh my god, Dark Magician, it's fucking horrible. Element Saber, it's horrible. And Christian, whoa, I can't believe 3 different decks, it's horrible. And you're just like complaining because some decks are just like or very fast or just very slow, but they're like very resistant. And then there's Shadowverse, which doesn't even give a fuck about the laws. Like they go way faster or just way slower, but they are dirty.
Yeah, that's of course like all the time, depending on the games, definitely. But I mean, at the same time, I feel like, you know, Duel Links right now, I'm pretty hyped, I would say, about the new meta. It's not a crazy new meta, but just the small changes that were applied to the decks and the fact that
Yes, exactly.
they lost consistency for some of them. I'm actually pretty happy, and I want to see how it goes. But what I'm finding pretty funny also, and it's about the duel that we're currently watching, it's how the hell is he planning to go through Madame Vare? Like,
Yep.
I only see one way, basically. There is only one for me that I won't say, but that's the only thing that I see. And if I'm right, well, we'll see in some turns, but right now I have, like, with just the Witchcrafter monster, there is no way on earth you push through, because even with Saber Dancer, I mean, okay, cool, go to 4,400. That's nothing for Madame Vare. Like, it's literally nothing.
Exactly. Not only does she increase her own attack, but she can also decide to discard a spell, which is going to negate the 4,400 attack to convert it to 3,000. Like, there's just that simple idea that Witchcraft, why I think it is still a deck that people should stop saying it sucks, is because having at least Madame Vare is such a big control. And if we had N in the game, I do think it will change and make, I don't know, maybe Witchcrafter would be tier 1 easily if you had like a card that pops card on the side of your opponent, like N does. So
yeah, no, definitely.
alright, so
definitely.
he's using one of the effects, decide to first of all discard the spell. That's actually pretty insane, so yep.
So,
He had to try, but he's going to have his effect negated. The attack increase is going to be reduced to 3,000, I think. No, wait a second. No,
it's
that's why.
no, it's not reduced. But
Yeah,
but-
exactly. I've seen why. That is because you used the effect of Cyber Dancer being banished, which gives
Yeah.
actually 3 stack to the other
yeah, but
Saber
I
Dancer.
mean, it's not enough. Like, no matter how much you boost, there's no way. Just no, you can't
Yeah.
push through. Like, because of course you have the 3 like spells automatically, the 3 Witchcrafter spells. But this deck doesn't
Exactly.
only play these 3; they play like other spells. And so there was no way. My guess was that they had Herald of the Abyss somewhere. That was what I was thinking. I was like, maybe they have it. Makes sense in a Massive
True.
Fusion deck.
Though
Nope.
it's not even a bad guess that you can think about Herald of the Abyss, but sadly, any Lunalite players that I've seen so far, they don't even play this type of cards. Like, nor Cosmic well, maybe Cosmic Cyclone, but no Herald of the Abyss at all.
Cosmic,
And
not
that is like
often.
one of the cards that should have been thought when you're playing this kind of deck, because not only is there's the fact that you can set a card to the graveyard, but there's another factor which is pretty nice, which is I can actually play Master of Fusion in case I don't have actually a very nice hand. If I have like a useless Curry Ball, useless Kite Thread, I can actually get myself a nice polymerization to be able to get myself Fusion.
Yep, definitely. So,
So-
Official Ace eliminating Belban. Just so you know, guys, it seems like maybe people in the chat, I don't know, are starting to get hyped about the whole Witchcrafter and Teamwork. That's so cool. They're gonna get hit by a Blackwing and it's gonna be all over. So brace yourself. Oh, wow, Blackwing. Wow, crazy, right? Yeah, that's basically the worst matchup on Earth for this deck. Like, for Witchcrafter, you can't do much against Blackwing. Going first helps. On top of that, playing the balanced version make the whole thing better. If you play the Lights One version, definitely Blackwing is the most horrible thing on Earth. Now with the balanced version going first, it makes it a bit better.
Also, like when you use the effect, I actually thought you were going to say, "Oh, but look at that! There is 2 Scud as profile picture." I thought you were going to comment that.
Yeah, that as well, definitely. I mean, yeah, you can play Scud, so at least...
Scud is first bundle. Like literally, I remember the day when this tractor was released. It was beautiful. So many people being like, "I'm never going to get this tractor. He looks ugly. Like, what is this fat sunk ass? Like, what is this tractor?" And I was like, "Well, new tractor. I'm going to get my gems. I don't care." And I actually really like Scott because I do love the voice. First of all, in Japanese, I do want to say it's very nice. Plus the sentences he says is very entertaining. Like, okay, that maybe he brings like shitty cards and all, but you have gems. Go get the gems. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
So
logic.
wait. So
Which
okay. So
card?
now I'm gonna have to make a guess because right now our opponent, like the new player, is called Cake W. Looking at Forbidden One's roster and knowing a bit of the players, I'm gonna guess that joke is just dessert style, and also it's Cake W, so just dessert makes sense. So I'm gonna say it's just dessert.
It is just desserts.
Oh, damn. How do you know? Oh, they said it on
Magic.
Discord.
Magic. I didn't even see on
Well.
Discord. I've seen nothing. I just guess.
I was like, yeah, that's probably him.
Because I don't know, Way One and Cyberster, I know they're coming with like their real nicknames, so
Yeah.
exactly. KW.
I was like,
Absolutely
that's his type of
insane
joke.
fun. Yeah, exactly.
He just sends Sham again. Yeah, probably.
I think
oh god,
the
he's
meaning
gonna
of
go 0-4.
KW. Yeah, actually, I think KW means cake of water. The W stands for water.
F for doubt. But but who knows, right? Oh wait, the 3 Charge of the Light Brigade in the graveyard, the Charge Brigade
Well,
helped.
one of them was actually used, right?
Yeah, yeah, to get the raid in. So that's actually pretty okay. That's a good setup. Like if you want to have a chance versus Blackwing, that's the setup you want. You want Madame Vare and back row, because the problem with this matchup, to explain overall, is first of all, of course, if Blackwing goes first, if they set up the Necro Valley, you're completely fucked. But even if that's not the case, you can also just force Madame Vare effect by using Gale. Like Gale is gonna decrease Madame Vare offense and defense, so you're forced sort of to use of course Madame Vare on that. You usually actually don't, because you hope to have enough protection in your hand, and you have to wait for Raikiri and actually negate Raikiri, because otherwise you lose automatically. But if you wait for Raikiri, your opponent doesn't even go for Raikiri, goes for Shidori and push through the Madame Vare and usually OTKs anyway. So that's kind of why the matchup is pretty tricky, but with the balanced version of Witchcrafter, at least you have back row that can potentially help solve that issue. Like, you know, Canadia, Floodgates, we all know that these cards, well timed, can completely break a Blackwing combo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think the Blackwings we have nowadays, you must not let them have the first turn most of the time. Like, if they go first, they're in one of the best positions, pretty much. That's how it goes. Because they can have at least some monster in the field. They maybe have Necro Valley. They probably have the Counter Trap. They probably have the Cosmic Sackbones.
Yeah.
And I do
Definitely.
still think, if I'm looking like, because we've seen the ban list, the most recent one, if I'm thinking about the next ban list, I'm almost not certain that Blackwings need
So
to get
far in
hit.
the future. But yeah.
Because in my opinion, Blackwings can still be defeated in a very stupid way, so I
Yeah,
don't
I mean
think there's like that much
Blackwing,
chance of getting
Blackwing,
toast.
to me, Blackwing didn't deserve anything on the ban list as long as Element Saber wasn't hit, because Element Saber basically keeps Blackwing in check. Like, the matchup is definitely in Element Saber favor, except if Blackwings go first with a really perfect hand and all the setup, then potentially it can go Blackwing's way, definitely. But other than that, usually the matchup is definitely for the Element Saber. And yes, Jason, I am coaching. Take some notes, you might learn a thing or two. Not at all.
Or 3 or 4 or everything, who knows? It depends on what kind of commentary we bring.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie to you, there's some moments where I'm actually able to maybe pull some new stuff for everybody, otherwise I just rant. That's
Well-
the 2 things I do. I think Aankara does the same, I suppose.
Well, I mean, not gonna lie, if one day I teach Jason something about Duel Links, I'll probably note that day on my calendar. But it's probably not gonna happen. But who knows, right? Who knows? There are more chances I teach him how to pronounce Madame Vare than anything else. But you know, could happen. But heavily doubting on it.
So far, this is looking pretty nasty, because there's the fact that Madame Vare had to protect herself, because the Ancient Pixie Dragon will have destroyed Madame Vare.
Yeah, but now Raikiri is pretty much
And
gonna do
even
the
worse, he's going to special summon the Zephyrs as well to put more pressure.
job. Wow, Hideki bringing back the old hurtful memories.
And it's
How
going
you
to
do
do
that?
kaboom. But there's still a chance that he goes back, and
Yeah.
I think I know what he has set.
Okay,
That's what I
drowning.
No. It's going to be the spell. Oh no. It was Typhoon in the end.
Not helping.
I actually thought he had the quick no wait, he cannot do well maybe he can use the quick spell, but it wouldn't be efficient because he special summon from the hand
Yep.
and not the
Well,
graveyard. The one that special summons from the graveyard is a normal spell.
cough same lane. Yeah, oh, remember.
Alright. So
Now,
I hope
Jason, stay
everybody
here.
took note.
Do
I
not
hope
go
everybody
anywhere.
took notes of what I said though. Cake W.
Cake W. Cake W1. Yay! God damn it.
And now one thing is that Aankara became Yugo Yugi, my good old friend from Morocco. Unbelievable. And yes, I
no.
swear, this friend of mine, like you guys, I think if I saw him casting a Team Wars, I would love to see the reaction of the people. Like thinking, how much memes does this man can bring, and how much water can he drink? You know, like that would be absolutely insane. Anyways, that was a stupid bullshit, and I apologize for that.
Nah.
The important thing is we're waiting for the next player on the Armades Army roster. But I gotta say, they actually got a very solid start, having 4 wins already. I believe, or 3. No, yes, they had 4 wins indeed.
Yeah, 4-2 right
And
now, right?
Forbidden Ones at least has 2 wins, which they still can come back.
But now it's cool because they get to pick what they're gonna send against the Blackwing from a Cake W. Well, they're probably gonna send, if they haven't anything better, but I would guess Element Sabers. That would be the thing that makes more sense. Hi Skygram, how you doing, my friend? But yeah, overall, I mean, it's just it's pretty much obvious that they're gonna send Element Saber, except if they don't have any in the roster. But I mean, with the new ban list that didn't hit Element Saber at all, why wouldn't you bring them? So let's see.
This is unbelievable. Cake W, you cheater! You just changed your nickname. You just destroyed the meme.
Yeah. Well,
I think what happened is Mr. the referee is hidden.
wounded.
You know, like it's like the police. He saw that he doesn't have the correct nickname. He was upset and he said, "Put your exact nickname right of that." And I'm like,
definitely.
"There's just one desert, and it's the cake." Anyways, let's go for the match. I'm really
But
sorry.
I mean, definitely, like, Cake W was way better. But to be fair, I do believe it's, I think it's one of the
I mean, it's
rules,
in the rules. It's in the rules that
definitely.
they have to put the real name. Like it happened for me as well, that I get some of the people not having
Like,
the exact nickname.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool because, like, you know, like you always have to follow the rules, of course. But I mean, for 10 weeks now, Wayne has been playing alone and chilling with Chile, and nobody noticed. So, it's fine, right? Like, you have to
you mean
follow...
maybe not having the tag in his name,
I mean,
right?
no. No, but I mean, as long as you don't get caught. No, just kidding. But yeah, no. I mean, it's definitely like you have to follow the rules, right? But it's, well, I'm gonna keep calling him Cake W, whatever. Cake W for now until.
All right, so this time Just Desert begins. At least he has the Black Were one. Normal summons the Chris. And I think he's going to go for Gale if he's looking to get some synchro. Otherwise, no, Zephyrs will be useless here, so he has to maybe go for a synchro.
Yeah.
Well, he goes for Zephyrs, alright.
Yeah, so we have.
I think there's still some back row. No, well, he has Gale. Holy moly, okay, very nice.
Oh, my bad. Of course, they swapped on me, so
Okay.
Dawn Viper is at the top while
Exactly.
Cake W is at the bottom. I'm gonna keep calling him Cake W, and as soon as he loses, I'm gonna like call him, I don't know, Cake L. I don't know. Just Desserts at the bottom with his first deck still versus Dawn Viper with his first deck as well. So now we might see the issue basically, which is if Blackwing has a good start versus Element Saber, and if Blackwing goes first, you can potentially make it work. But here it's not the perfect start. Necro Valley is definitely an issue, right? But you prefer to have some much more field presence, I would say, than just a Pixie in this matchup. Like if you can have a Raikiri right away, for instance, that also helps a lot.
I think this is going to go pretty nasty. He's going to go for the Cossidus.
Oh yeah, got everything. Perfect. Search with the field spell.
And no, he cannot use Invocation.
Not even
so
searched
he's
it.
very much locked for that, so he'll have to go for another strategy. But one solid thing is, I think he's going to go for the style, not even use the effect of the Palace, unless he wants to assure himself for a Molahu. But I think he's going to take his time instead.
Yeah. How special Sonic, but yeah.
Alright, that first normal summon, Black Whirlwind activates, he's going to go for another Synchro, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, going through Cossidus is not that hard, especially with Necro Valley on the field, because Necro Valley prevents you from, of course, getting back the Aleister in hand and everything, because you can't move the invocation anywhere. So basically, the only thing you need to do, that's not that easy, but still, you basically just need to have a Shidori, and Shidori can push through the Cossidus pretty easily. But if there is a Floodgate or Canadia or Finnish Chain or anything, then it can be an issue. Let's see. Cossidus is always an issue anyway. No matter your deck, no matter what you're facing. Oh, bad aim. Okay, Necro Valley? Yep. Necro Valley it is. Well, Just Desert better be aggressive that turn, because next turn, hell is gonna drop on him.
So now the question is, if he doesn't have a second Necro Valley, he's not going to be really able to stop the graveyard.
Yep.
And most of the Blackwing players will just have one Necro Valley.
Yeah, definitely.
So not only to avoid the breaks, but because you mainly want to get a lot of monsters as much as possible to be able to deal and get yourself some synchros.
Yep. No, I mean here it's more like, I would say you have to go for the aggressive move if you can. You have to go like Shidori, attack through, and if I'm correct, you shouldn't die even to a Purgatory on next turn. So I think the aggressive play is the only way. You of course don't want to do damage too much because you don't want to give it to draw. But other than that, I think it's still pretty fine because he had the first turn safe, I would say, and he was able to get to his like third turn pretty safely. So thanks to that, he's pretty okay.
I'll have to try to get Cheatery. That will be his best bet if he wants to destroy Cossidus. So... very nice attack. So I think there's possibly an answer on the side of his opponent. Maybe he has an Aleister. Alright, special summons the Zephyros. Very nice turn. Very nice turn indeed. At least does one attack. The opponent is not able to use Destiny Draw. Now obviously Invocation is going to be used, get himself back with the Aleister. Question will be, is he wanting to go for Molahu or just another fusion? The case is, I think he's going to go for Purgatrio. So... alright. Now the question is, does he have another invocation? Remember the Gate showing clips yesterday? He kept scrolling past the TW ones. Interesting. Interesting. Hopefully he did not see one of mine. I'm sure there are some bad clips of people that have done like clips in my channel or just on the Team War ones. I don't know. I know there was like one clip that I remember because I mean that's because of the games I casted last week, where there's a point where I mentioned Banana, and I think I'm hoping nobody noticed this one.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it is fair. Like it is fair for DK to do that. I understand the reason. And
oh, I know it's fair. Oh, completely fair. It's even better actually to do that. It's more like, I don't know if you have seen this clip and what has he thought. That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah, true.
Right, does
So
this
damage.
is not going to be completely lethal.
It is not, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
And then Econ. Show
Comeback?
us. Good.
Okay, will win. That's one. Okay.
Oh my god. Wait, he can come back easily.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
that is
fine.
maybe over. Just Gale. Gale reduces the attack by half.
Gale
and
into Joe.
And yeah, I think he's going to go for Obsidian Hojo just to bring back that big Chidori.
Yeah. Or you, yeah.
Very curious, pointless. Like maybe you have like another Blackwing in hand, but the best bet would be to get yourself an Obsidian Hojo just to get sure that you have like a good monster in terms of attack. So I think that's what he's going to be looking for. And indeed, Special Summons it takes the Chidori and shows that he's way better than Purgatrio, way cooler. You can see the design is even better. And I do agree, Purgatrio, you're just a ghost. Be vanished, and this time it's going to be yet again the victory for Just Desert.
Yeah, Just Desert or Cake W, right? Keeps winning. So, pretty good. Do
so, the cake has been eaten, not.
Yep, not yet. Dawn Viper
so
losing
Dawn Viper
one
has
life.
I do think they may go for the repeat. I mean, they're playing Element Saber, which is clearly a matchup against Blackwings in my opinion.
I mean, it's exactly like I said. The matchup is in favor of Element Saber, except if Blackwing goes first and is able to set up Necro Valley. Then
I don't want to say nowadays. It's harder to say if it's like truly a matchup against something. I think there's less archetypes in between that you can think, okay, the matchup is really in favor of a certain archetype, because Element Saber or Blackwings, it depends on if you get the first turn, for example.
Well, I would say that Element Saber is still favored, because here, I mean, we saw an actually like there was Cossidus right away, but then not much back row when Element Saber usually has a ton of back row. There was no Molehu, which is super annoying as well for Blackwing. On the other side, the Blackwing turn was pretty good, I would say. Necro Valley in hand, a Pixie that's super annoying as well, hard to go through. So here we're gonna see how it goes. Like, this is gonna be completely different. Molehu 2 sets. Have fun going through that. Cake W. No, I don't agree with you, however. And he might be German, but might only be flexing. Okay, exactly. So see, oh hi Simoon, let's have a floodgate. Yes, now summon another one so he gets Molehu'd. That's basically how it goes. And yeah, oh, they are, I forgot to add it, but they indeed repeated. So
yeah, exactly. Another card, bad aim as well. Completely counter, completely negated. One is face down and one was face up, just destroyed by the bad aim.
Yeah, and no card in hand anymore now. There is one set, well, who knows what it is, but end phase, okay.
It actually, yeah, I think it's or a Cosmic Cyclone, or it is
or Blackbird Crows. Okay, though that's pretty interesting. I would say that if he hasn't summoned anything on with Molehu, because he still he wanted to keep the Element Saber in hand to be able to do exactly this. So yeah, that was pretty much expected. Blackbird Claws got the perfect timing, somewhat a perfect timing, because on one side sure you negate, and you are able to summon the big monster, Blackwing Dragon, but on the other side Whirlwind doesn't search because you got rid of your monster of the what's it called, Chris? yeah, Chris before he was, of course, able to search anything.
Exactly. That was a nice counter trap though. The counter trap really helped him because
yeah,
I don't know why Element Saber did not even decide to put like anything.
maybe
I mean,
he doesn't have
is
anything.
there any Sphere Karibo?
I would say yes, because yeah, hi.
If there is.
Now it's please attack and give me Dedro. Nope, not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Nice decision by Just Desert to attack with the little baby.
Yep.
Which is named Gale.
Definitely not a good hand from Dawn Viper. This is tricky though, because if Dawn loses here, is it? Yeah, oh god. Okay, that's bad for Armades army, because they lost here counter after repeat, so twice in a row. With pretty bad hands, I would say. It's more than
clearly
that.
coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, 4-4 now.
I actually expected a comeback. So they're 4-4, nothing is over. Armades army can still go up again.
Yeah, of course.
Armades army is actually a team that is pretty, I'll say, they bring some spice. Like, they're able to come back if they really want to. If I do say so.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's far from over. Just Dawn Viper, yeah. Sadly, he came in with, like, the good deck choice. I mean, there's nothing else you could bring that was as good as Element Sabers, but just, like, going second first duel, then a break. Not much you can do on that side. And just Desert.
Yep.
Going 3-1, 3-0, actually, and just puts his team back in the game for 4. Esaber does counter Blackwing. I mean, that is a definitive fact, but it's not a hard counter. It's not like Blackwing versus Witchcrafter where Blackwing wins like 90% of the time. It's just that Blackwing usually loses to Element Sabers because you can prevent Blackwing to go crazy on a turn 2, and even if Blackwing goes first, if it's not a perfect going first with Necro Valley, it is hard to then push for damage against a good Element Saber field. But here, I mean, first duel, he had a pretty bad hand because Cossidus sounds amazing, but Cossidus is not amazing, especially against the Necro Valley. You want the bad aim, that was decent, but you wanted more like a Molehu, that's way more effective. No, it was nowhere to be found, and again, Necro Valley was annoying. But and on the second one, I mean, it was just an overall bad hand. I mean, no field spell, no Aleister, just no back row, almost no back row, just well, actually no, not almost, no back row. So I mean, 2 bad hands, I would say, especially the second one that was completely horrible.
Exactly. Also, the next player from Armades Army is actually here, so just Desert, if he's here, he'll have to move to another table so Dace can join.
No, oh, well, yeah, it's Dawn Viper has to leave, right?
Oh my, no, I made a mistake. No, you've heard nothing. You've heard nothing, people. I did not say who's the next player, alright? I did not say it.
I mean, anyway, they can see it. They can see it in the chat, right?
Yeah, no, they can see the chat, but no, it's the fact that if you go to the room member, you just spoil everything. It's less interesting. It's sad.
Oh, okay.
You just spoil the next player.
Spoiler
That's the thing.
alert.
Like every time
someone.
I'm like doing the commentary for Team Wars, I hate to like reveal who is the player, who it is. I just like to put some suspense because you never know who's going to be the next player. And it's always interesting to know who and with what deck is he coming. So yeah, let's see who's right.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Now
They
the
did
KW
not
is
say
fitting.
anything. Okay.
But yeah, Dawn Viper is out. So the next player, I wonder who that is. It's gonna come up. Oh wow, Dace. Wait. Oh yeah, Dace. No, never mind.
Yes.
I bugged out for a second, but yeah.
What? Diet? Dice?
Huh?
Word puns, actually.
True.
Also, big shoutouts to Kirama showing love in the chat. I've just seen him. Big shoutouts to you. There's also there's still so many people I need to come to their stream at least. There's so many people that want to check at least on the Duel Links community, because for real, when you check the Duel Links community in Twitch, it's so different than what you can find on Discord or Reddit or Facebook or YouTube even. Like, it's totally different.
Or,
I just love being there. Like for real,
or
when I just, like began streaming, I got the feeling that they were pretty welcoming. And even better is the fact that I remember there was like some random day in March. I decided to like follow a Korean streamer because I mean, why not? You know, just for the international thing and all. And I was streaming randomly. I don't know why the man is just like sending me a friend invite, and I'm like, who is he? And when I realized who it was, I was like, ah, it's the guy that I followed randomly. Well, surely. And then I started joining his streams and all, and super mega friends. He's dumb in hilarious. And I swear, if there's anybody that needs to join, like I don't know, Clan Wars or Team Wars for the commentary, we need to bring this guy. For real.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Puck, also known as B-Boku, for real.
Yeah, B-Boku, yeah.
Show him love. Because I think we always like have a lot of good players on like any side of the countries, but like for the Korean players, I don't know if they're like truly that competitive. I don't think there's that much fun.
Yeah, I wonder. I actually wonder. Like I said, I mostly know Japanese and like 1 or 2 Chinese, but well, they don't really play the game because well, they're not supposed to. Blah blah. We all know what's happening in China, but
no, I think the China. Well,
they can play the game, but then they cannot.
Some of them are not even Chinese. I think some of them are more Taiwanese. You know, like
but
maybe there's a big
Taiwanese can fully play the game and qualify the worlds and everything. The problem is with
Hong Kong did as well. By the way, there was a player from Hong Kong who actually qualified for the worlds, Raymond, who is actually on the SEM team.
Yeah.
So these two sides they can, but for China, I do agree it should be more complicated.
It's weird. But I agree though on the friend invite, like it's always weird.
They're ready to restrict them, in my opinion.
I agree with the friend invite thing though. It's always weird when you get an invite and you're not sure who it is. I had the same thing when like Hideki bro sent me a friend invite. I was like, who the hell is that random? But but other than that, I mean, like you know, I eventually accepted him. I think, not sure, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still on hold. But.
I think for me to know who the guy was, I think I just like went to his channel, and when I saw like some of his older streams, I was like, oh, I know this face, I know this dude, I have seen it before, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'm going to accept. Also nice. Just more fun facts, everybody. Then I'm going to go for the commentary. I got the notification on my own Twitch that Bananas is streaming.
Yeah,
And I'm going to say one thing. If people are going to be like, what the fuck is that? Is he talking about Bananas? I'm going to tell you guys, there is a streamer named Bananas. You can search on internet. Trust me, there's a streamer named Bananas. And she's very, very nice, by the way. Very nice person as well. I think she was like speedrunning in events before. I don't know if she does. Yeah. But she's a very nice person. Like, she does Zelda speedruns, by the way.
Yeah.
Random fact.
Yeah, I think I know the name. I think the name rings a bell, to be honest. Well, I mean, the name is pretty obvious, right? But I think I've seen it.
Yeah, obvious. But I mean, I'm surprised. Did you watch speedrun before, or just like casually?
I do watch speedrun. I do watch speedruns. Not like crazy. Chill. Not crazy. Not crazy speedruns, but I like to watch speedruns indeed. There were some events back in France, like the speed show, barrière, stuff like that. Probably the chat doesn't know, but there were events in France around like speedrunning video games, and I like to check that all the time. There are some pretty fun speedruns, but yeah, hi Deku bro. I indeed I never send you anything and you still ignore me. Yeah, that's my special talent. I'm able to ignore people who do not talk to me. That's basically called staying at home. But that works. To go back on the duel, I mean, we've seen some interesting stuff. We have seen a Finnish chain going off on the Raikiri, but we've seen the really great play that I like is that you have the Pixie Dragon that can like do some work around the Raikiri itself, because basically the way to play around Finnish Chain, and that's something I learned from Gnurgard guide. If some of you don't know, like it's a really good guide. It's on Duel Links meta, go check it. But yeah, basically the whole idea to play around like Finnish Chain is you just use Raikiri effect, Finnish Chain is chained to the Raikiri effect, then you use Ancient Pixie Dragon, you get rid of the Raikiri, and if you have the good cards in hand, you can even go back to like a Joe, use Joe effect, summon back Raikiri again. So Some good combos that you can do here.
That's actually the play to do most of the times when you're targeted by Findy Shane and you have an ancient pixie dragon. That's a very important play that some of the players do forget. That you just need to target a face-up attack monster, destroy it. And I've also seen this play. I think that was also in like one of my tournaments. Funnily, not even like in pro tournaments or like just Team Wars or Clan Wars. I've seen this in my own tournament. That he used the effect to destroy the monster because he wanted space to just summon a Upscaling Hydro to then bring Raikiri. So that was a pretty solid turn by doing that.
Yeah, so here it's looking obviously pretty bad because I mean they dealt with. I sort of wonder like because there were 3 back rows, so the floodgate.
If he doesn't have a Gozuki, he's in a bad spot. Gozuki will be the best card because you just send a level 4, then you use the effect of the tuner.
Yeah.
And
I mean there's but there's a Necro Valley, right? That was anyway ruining everything, but
true.
Like
True.
Dace was just Desert was able to play around everything. Wait, so I want to point out something, like 2 things. First, some people have been telling me that Shiranui, that the hit is fine, you know, like it's just a 1 less Squire. No, it's not fine. Like Squire is the gold card that you want in every single one of your hand. When I won Pharaoh Cash tournament, it was for one sole reason compared to the other good Shiranui players in top, is because I was opening with like Drosense Squire every single duel, because that card makes your turn 1 amazing instead of bad. So having only 2 Squire, I feel like it's way worse to have only 2 Squire than to have only 2 Rods, for instance, or like 2 Impacts, or even 2 of anything with the new ban list. But Squire is the worst thing, really. But on top of that, sending Shiranui versus Blackwing? Hold on, what? I mean, I don't get it. Like, well, and they're even repeating.
Okay, yep, I was about to tell you that.
Okay, there's a what? I mean, you know, I don't have the decks of the other teams, so potentially it's the best thing they have, right? Maybe the best thing they have is to go with Dace. But am I the only one thinking that like Blackwing completely has the matchup versus Shiranui? Because you just put Necro Valley and you win?
I do agree with this. I do agree with this in terms of matchup.
I mean, you can win for sure. Like if you have like the Ballista squad and you open Squire, you Squire plus your level 2. You don't synchro. You use Ballista squad on the Necro Valley. Next turn, you go for full combo because like you should be able to, and then you're in a good spot. That's if they Necro Valley, but you need to have a really good hand. And like I said again, Squire is not there anymore. So at least like only 2 of them. So yeah, I'm so not a fan of bringing Shiranui versus this. Like it's, I don't know. To me, it's one of, like, as a Shiranui player, I've played that deck more than any other, and it's like one of the worst matchup of the deck with Dark Magician probably.
So yet again, Blackwing is going to begin. Chill turn, having a Chris being summoned, draws Zephyros, and bless you, by the way. And I do believe the set card is going to be a counter trap. Not 100% guaranteed, but we'll see.
Okay, so look, now it's gonna go way better. Kidding! Just that's the matchup. Like, why? Why on earth? Like, and now what do? You set 2 cards and you pass. Ta-da! I'm not coaching. Like, nice SETI CC. Yes, I can. Definitely a CC. And now, like, what do you do exactly? Okay, floodgate. Okay. But you. So he used Lancia. What? Hold on. Why the Lancia?
I think he thought there was going to be a Cosmic Cyclone banishing the face down. He's feeling that the card that he has in hand is actually going to be a Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah, but I mean, you can wait for the because I mean, you use Lancia for two reasons, right? You use Lancia either like you chain it to a Cosmic Cyclone to basically negate the Cosmic Cyclone, or you want to play around Simoon. But here there is a monster on the field, so no Simoon. Like,
yep, we don't have Simon.
yeah, like I mean, you can only Simoon if there is no monster on the field. So the using Lancia in draw phase is something that you see often versus Blackwing, because you at least block them from going full combo if they do have it. So like if you're going second versus Blackwing and you know that like the full combo, if they go full combo, you are in a pretty bad spot. Just throw your Lancia in draw phase, standby phase, and you are in a better spot usually. But here there was no point in doing so. So like literally none.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fishy. Like that Lancia could indeed question a lot, but it's just he thought, oh well, there's going to be a Cosmic Cyclone, but almost not worth. Fiendish Chain, which is going to stop the Black-Winged Dragon.
Well, at least now there is Spectral Sword and Squire in the grave, so you can now start doing stuff. There is still a back
This is
row,
going to be risky though. He has one card in the hand. He'll have to disynchro first, obviously, to get two cards to then decide the one that he wants to discard.
Yep.
So far, he's on the "this is a terrible zone" field.
Yeah, he was annoyed by Lancia prompts. Yeah, I could toggle off, but YOLO. Okay, so we are seeing a Samurai Skull. That's actually pretty interesting.
Samurai Skull.
That's something I like in Shiranui a lot, because
okay, that is a nice place. So he's easily going to go for the Solitaire, I think.
Yeah.
The issue is that if there's an answer on the side of just Desert, he's just going to use the counter trap, I think.
Yeah. No, the reason why I like Samurai Skull, and now actually in my deck list I don't play Gozuki anymore, I play Samurai Skull instead, is because Samurai Skull is really nice to play around back row, because like it's not as Gozuki, you activate the effect on summon, and on top of that it's good versus like banishing effects. So there are these two things. The only thing that Gozuki is better at is you can do multiple effects with Gozuki. Like if he survives one turn, you can do another one. But to be honest, if Gozuki survives one turn, your opponent probably passed out on his phone. So it doesn't happen often. And also Gozuki cool effect is the fact that if he's sent to the graveyard, you can banish one monster from the graveyard to summon one from hand. So if you're at the right setup, it can allow you to bring back something from the banish pile.
Samurai Skull is a bit different though. You can see that the second says that if it is like, if it's leaving the field, you can special summon a level 4 or lower zombie monster from the deck. So it's just a different playstyle, and I do want to agree that Samurai Skull will become better than Gozuki. I don't remember if Samurai Skull is limited, by the way. That's the question I have. I don't think it is limited. But it was. There was a time that Samurai Skull was touched.
Yeah, it was semi-limited, I think, at the times of Vampires, right? I do.
Yeah, exactly. So. Because of Vampires, normally it was semi-limited to 2. Now the Blackbird Claws, though.
There we go. But now there's the effect. Now there's the Solitaire brought back to the graveyard by the Shogun Saga effect. There is still, now there is the, if I'm correct, now there is the threat of the level 10, so either level 6 or level 10 next turn, or potentially a second level 8 if he plays 2, but I doubt it.
Yeah, exactly. On the side of Days, that's going to be the threat. And there's also the fact that the Fiendish Chain is still active, blocking Black-Winged Dragon for any attack or usage of the effect.
No, I definitely a pretty good comeback from Days' side here, even with the misplay of the Lancia, that in the end didn't change a lot, because like the Lancia anyway is pretty dead in this matchup, so you just throw it to the graveyard. But
dead except when he tries to read the Cosmic Cyclone. Like, it's really doubtful, and it's hard in my opinion to say it's a misplay. I think a lot of people indeed, like you, we'll say it's a misplay, but it's more like trying to read over what cards Black Wings will use. We know the Black Wings is a OTK deck, so you'll always see some quick spells, and obviously
Yeah, but
Cosmic Cyclone. That's what he was trying to read, and I don't
no,
think
but
he
I
has
mean,
any
if
Cosmic Cyclone
I
since the
don't-
beginning.
I don't believe so, because if he's afraid of a Cosmic Cyclone, then if you Lancia first, your opponent is just gonna chain the Cosmic Cyclone. So there's
Yeah,
no,
there's also this part indeed.
so Lancia Lancia like this is only versus Simoon, which couldn't be done in that specific situation. Oh, the lens. Okay, that hurts. Lens
That
hurts.
is
Now
a
it's gonna be
dirty
level
lens.
10. Now it's gonna be level 10. It's gonna be Clearborn. It's gonna be bring this one home. I can't believe Shiranui is gonna win versus Black Wing with that kind of setup. Oh god damn it. But damn, it is gonna happen. I doubt
That's
there
a
is any
clear
like hand
comeback.
trap or anything.
Sending the 2 synchros back to the extra deck, or I think it's 3. No, I believe it's only 2 that he
No,
got
it's
to
only
do.
two.
So it destroys the
No,
monsters.
you can do as many as you want, but here he only has 2.
Well, indeed. I was just like thinking how many synchros he had.
Yep, and this is the first loss for Just Dessert. Cake L taking his first L.
Exactly.
Yeah, so 5-5. Still pretty tight.
That's a
still
really
pretty
solid
close.
start for both of the teams. Like,
Yeah.
for me, every time there's a war and you see both teams able to achieve 5 points, no matter what, that is good.
Hmm.
So this is going to be the hard part. The second half is generally more, I'd say, you need more endurance to like think of what deck the opponent is going to use or what deck should counter the other one.
Yep, exactly. And like Hideki bro is saying in the chat, better player doesn't win always. And trust me, Hideki has a lot of experience in that. But what? Oh, what? No, I'm just
Exactly.
I'm just gonna
I
stop
know a lot
roasting
of
you.
good players that are pretty much in that case. And
I'm
yeah,
just-
I'm just going to follow them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop roasting Hideki. Love you, bro.
It's fine.
I'm gonna
You
find
know, like,
I'm gonna find another
know,
target.
I'm not going to lie. There's one target that I have every time I do in my own stream, and it's Ghost. So like one of
Yeah,
the
your
enemies
Ghost
that I have in
works,
like
yeah.
my own tournaments. This man, like,
But I
he
mean-
has made history. Okay,
That's not
so
normal.
this duel doesn't count.
But
This one is not going
Hideki,
to count ODs.
I
think-
well, sometimes there's a disconnect can count. We're gonna wait on like the ref decision, but here it seems like the nothing started. But Hideki, of course, I meant
think
it
if
as a
there's
compliment,
disconnection on the
right?
first turn, it doesn't really count. So
Yeah.
that's going to be
We'll
tough
see.
here.
We'll see what the ref says. But of course, Hideki, I meant the whole thing as a compliment. I said like you are a really good player, but you get unlucky and lose. Of course, it was what I meant.
Yeah. Also got
Yeah.
the compliment from my good Korean friend. He tells me that I'm a good player, and he says it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
English. And I don't know if he says it in Korean as well. I wonder. I mean, I know he speaks a
know-
lot
I know
Korean,
you
but
know.
it's always fine. Like,
Let's go.
the thing I do like from like streamers that only know one language and try, for example, another one, is they are not really hating on you if you do not speak Korean.
Yeah.
I just appreciate that side. Like for me, of course, like anybody can join my stream and speak the language they want, but you're not gonna have like that many Koreans, that many I don't know
Definitely not.
Taiwanese or Japanese, maybe being like, oh well, I'm going to join his stream, and then they're going to be like,
Oh look, they won.
wakarimasen,
So great.
本当にわかりません. So
Yep.
basically not understand Yenishi. So yeah,
Yes.
that's basically the thing. Alright, so this time the first turn is going to go for Dace. Solid start,
that.
having the Samurai Saga 2 cards set on the field.
Look at that. Dace just won. He opened Squire.
Oh, Leicester Neos.
Ah,
Alright, invoked Neos it's going to be.
Yep. No, but
So,
I
pretty
mean, I agree
interesting.
on the language thing. Like, you should see me when the few times that I'm like YOLOing.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a
that
good
hurts.
opener. Is
That
it
Lancia makes way more sense than the previous one.
Ay. Ay. Almost.
Oh god, Marty's now.
No, I had to write like that because it's not often that you open with 2 lace. No, wait, what? Ah, yes, okay.
No, but not Marty. I do not play Shiranui. I play Witchcrafter. I stopped playing Shiranui now. I know what's gonna happen if I play this deck. I'm never gonna open. I'm never gonna open Squire with it. So, rip. But yeah, no, definitely not happening. But here.
I think you understood my sentence. Kick.
But yeah, no. I mean, but I agree on the language thing though. You should see me try to speak German on my streams when I do it for fun. But it is something.
I mean, there's also me always speaking French and Spanish. It's not even a try, it's I do it instead.
No,
I think the day where I'm going to try speaking Korean or even Japanese, that's when I'm going to evolve into Mega Disturbia. Or even Disturbing instead of Disturbia.
Yeah,
because I do believe there's no like official bands that are named Disturbing. Like, there's obviously Disturbed, one of the most famous bands in the world when it comes to music. Disturbia, one of the most famous songs in the world. And then me, named Disturbia, which is not even fucking famous, but still has been noticed by a random YouTuber by the name of Noxtaku. Which is a joke, obviously, because he's not even random. Plus, the man brings so many memes. I cannot believe it. You know what?
Marty?
A good example I should bring is that Dace has a dumb high IQ of 189. Example of a meme that has been created by Noxtaku, everybody. You don't understand, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It just means that he's clever.
Bringing the memes.
Just that it sounds very stupid.
But like,
and very funny.
That's what happened with Disturbia. Is he brings meme, but to understand them you have to use Google. That's
that's the thing. That almost
just,
well, it's pretty much
you wanna laugh?
Because at some point everybody has like their own references, and I have my own reference. You as well maybe have like some specific references. Like if we started speaking about speedrunning, not only you will be sleeping, but the others as well, because I just know too much. So I just like to bring the normal topic, and that's all.
Lens in 1, 2, 3.
Let me see. So Karma card, which is going to charge the tuner, obviously.
There's gonna be lens now. Please show me lens.
There might be a lens indeed
that
is going to protect the tuner, and if that is the case, Dace is in a very good position. Otherwise, it's on the side of just deserts that it's chaining.
Oh, Ballista Squad, okay, that works.
Okay.
No lens.
Okay.
Getting rid of the second back row, makes sense.
So I think he's going to go for the back row indeed. Back row to force him. Otherwise, he's going to be like, hey, I want to do lethal, so I'm going to dodge a Leicester. And he's going to go in instead
the annoying thing right there
there's also the fact that maybe the back row is going to be activated actually, so
well, this is exact OTK otherwise, so you better have something.
Yeah. So I've seen that he targeted the back row. All right. Just to not get wrong, he targeted the back row. So the face down.
And to answer Marty in the chat is not that I don't want to test Shiranui anymore. Like, I mean, I know the deck, I know it's still playable, of course, with only 2 Squire, but I've been playing the deck, almost only that deck, for like 4 months straight. So I want to play something else. That's basically it. Like Shiranui, I've done it all, I would say.
I'm gonna try to quit because I don't know if they're thinking, so I'm going to try to see the duel entirely, and I'll be catching you again.
No, let me know. Let me know if it crashes, but I think they're more like thinking.
No problem. That's what DM players should do too, bro.
What do you mean, like change deck or quit? I would say quit, but that's my personal take. No, I'm a Dark Magician hater. I mean,
yeah, that means you're defending Joss and Pai's theory. No, for real, like when it comes to Dark Magician, I know the biggest hater of Dark Magician, and it's actually one of the most famous YouTuber of Duel Links, named Joss and Pai.
Is this a DC? Is this an actual win? Is this whatever it is?
Okay, I'm trying to catch it up. This is turn 3. So I'm trying to look for the field where there was the chain 3, so I don't know where you're at.
No, but I think it just ended, like basically on the winning screen from 4 days. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I did good to actually watch again, but indeed that's
Yeah, but the thing is, Konami nerfed Draw Sense Spell Trap and didn't nerf Destiny Draw. Yeah, but the skills are not the same.
Destiny Draw is so not going to be nerfed because it's fair. It's 2,000 life point, and it doesn't need to be at like you lose 3,000 life point to activate the skill. I think it is very fine as a skill, Destiny Draw, but for me, Draw Sense Spell Trap was more important because of the existence of that stupid 30 card deck where you only have one spell, which first of all is at semi-limited to 1, and which is made for like spam of monsters and synchros, which also is weak to Yosenju. Fact, like for real, I played against this deck. The guy is like, oh look, I banished your spell trap, yeah, free win, I summon, and then I am like, bro, oh yam. So I summoned in attack, and the guy is like, well, I'm gonna attack you. And then I had the Tsuji. He receives my attack.
No, but the thing is...
He loses like that.
No, but the thing is, the big difference also is that Draw Sense Spell and Trap is like, you need to lose 1,000. So that's super easy to do.
But
like,
it's
you just lose 1,000,
so
that's
easy
it.
to actually
Destiny Draw is
2,000.
2,000.
So, I mean,
it's way different. You can play way more easily around like 2,000 threshold than 1,000. 1,000 is really complicated.
But that's the thing. So it needed a nerf
And
anyway.
the deck shouldn't even exist, so it's perfect.
Semi-limited to 1. Yeah, indeed, my bad. Like you're right. It's limited to 1. Well, it's very funny the terms
I'm always having fun triggering my like a Yu-Gi-Oh TCG friend by saying semi-limited to 2. Like it's just at the beginning they were trying.
It's actually the real word. Stupidly not. People
but
say
like it's like saying 2 times the same thing, right? It's like saying 2 times the same thing. Either you say limited to 1 to 2 to 3, or you say limited, semi-limited, and well, in TCG the third limitation doesn't exist. But
exactly.
But so this is.
I think the win got for days. So let me see. Didn't update the score. Yeah, so this is the 6th win for Armades Army. So they have 6-5. So we have the next player, which is Buster on the side of Forbidden Ones.
Let's go.
So yeah, it's time to.
I can finally call him Cake L.
Update the score. Update the score.
Yeah. Doing it. Doing it. On it.
Alright.
Cyberbuster, not Cyberbuster.
Cyberbuster.
Buster. But yeah, so Cyberbuster with probably Element Saber, I'd say.
Yeah.
And so 6-5, Armades Army taking back the lead here with Days being 2-1 for the moment with Shiranui. Is he gonna open Squire and win or no? And answer is yes.
Alright, so I guess I'm not the only one bringing karma. The man is right. You're actually a prophet, Aankara. That is impressive.
I guess there is a profit part in opening Squire. The second part being like you open Squire, you win. That's not prophecy. That's a fact. Like,
I mean, trust me, you say that, but if you've seen, like, I don't even force people to, like, re-watch an entire Team Wars. I think it's very stupid to do that. But every time I'm casting a Team Wars, trust me, I see the field and I say what kind of players I may see and all, and it fucking happens. And then I'm like, I actually dub, but I think he has actually the second copy of that card, and then it happens. There's so many moments where I'm actually the prophet, bringing the exact truth for the Duel Links. It's like you can imagine for. Like, you can imagine that I'm like the prophet, Daniel Naroditsky, which is basically one of the grandmasters in chess. Because there's chess, which is very famous in Twitch. I think everybody knows that. But yeah, I'm basically a prophet like him. But I'm a prophet for Duel Links.
It was the first few weeks, one of the first weeks of Team Wars. I was casting with Novo Mortis, and for like the 3 hours of the stream, every time he was like, maybe he has blah blah blah. It was it. Like, I think he did it like 12 times in one stream. And every time he was like, well, he's losing, except if he has this, then he wins. And every time the person he was talking about had that specific card or was stop decking it.
Yeah.
At the end, he was like, I'm gonna just stop talking. What?
Yeah.
I told you
Aankara,
guys.
so you said you're not a prophet. Isn't
No,
this false? You're a prophet. You say I'm going
No,
to stop talking.
again,
That's
saying
your fault there. That is
no,
your
no, no,
fault
no,
that
no,
the
no,
duel
no.
ends like that. I am sure, mister.
The fact
I am
that
going to call an
someone
inspector. I'm going to call the FBI to verify this case.
again,
Or the CIA,
the fact,
one of the
the
two.
fact that Squire leads to winning is not a prophecy. It is a fact. You
I am
open
not
Squire, you
saying
win.
that. I am not talking about the Squire. I am talking about the fact that you said I'm going to stop talking, which lead to the end of the duel. By pure magic. You just hacked the server.
Yup, DDoS.
There's something that is not... There's something that is not going... Oh, man.
So what
No,
do we have? We
obviously,
have Cyberbuster
One
now.
thing's first, before anybody gets confused, am I joking or am I laughing at the two teams? Not even close. So if anybody thought I'm doing so, please understand, I'm absolutely not like that. You can
Just understand he's going crazy. It's perfectly fine.
Exactly, you just need to understand that my nickname is Disturbia. If you didn't understand that my nickname is Disturbia, I think, well, welcome. My name is Disturbia. I'm disturbing, so just talking a lot while there's nothing happening, and yeah, what else to say?
I mean, you guys are lucky because we could be doing all this in French, and that would be even more entertaining.
I mean, it says that, but I could also be doing it in Spanish and just make you confused, and also you bringing some like German commentary.
Then what do I do? I reply in German?
Well, translate. Well, that's the thing, yeah.
Like, cause my Spanish is shit. Like, I come from like the southwestern France. I'm just next to the Spanish border, but I don't speak any Spanish because I was letting my dad do all the translation when I was a kid and didn't learn anything.
I see. All right, so there's no repeat, by the way, on the side of Forbidden Ones.
Nope.
So I do want to say that's nice to not go for the repeat here, and going for Blackwing is a very nice choice here. Ooh, first turn is going for Psybuster.
Yep. So what do we have here? We have Blackwing that. I like the fact that they countered. Like, I like the fact that Forbidden Ones, not Forbidden One, that Armades army decided to counter Blackwing with Shiranui, and now Forbidden Ones is gonna counter Shiranui with Blackwing. This one makes way more sense. This time, I hope you're gonna see what actually happens in this matchup when everything goes normal. But this is a bad hand. No Whirlwind and just Bora. Oh god, this is.
Well, it depends. Still, it depends. You say that, but I think a lot of people still forget that close. I think it's close flight, the name of the counter trap. If you set it and you control a Blackwing face up, you can negate the effect of a monster. You distribute it, and then you can special summon a Blackwing dragon. So you always have like two ways to use the counter trap.
Yeah, you just close whatever he summons, probably Squire, but if he had Squire, he would have already have done it. Because Squire plays always a play, but other than that, I mean, you use your close on whatever he summons, then you Cosmic Cyclone whatever he sets, and then you summon another monster and you win. That could also work, but yeah. Let's see. A long hesitation here, because if he wants to play around Blackbird Close, there's only one way to do that. It's like set a monster, set traps, and end turn. That's the only real way. If you go aggressive with Squire, you automatically or whatever, like Squire, Solitaire. Actually, Solitaire is better, because if you do Solitaire, sure it negates, but since Solitaire is negated when in the graveyard, at least it doesn't summon the Blackwing Dragon. So if he wants to play around Blackbird Close and still wants to summon something, then he has to do Solitaire.
That's a good point indeed, when it comes to the Solitaire effect, because when you use it, it actually already is in the graveyard.
Yep, like what I'm saying in the chat. Like,
he's going to go very defensive. He knows that he should not trigger the effect of the counter trap, and maybe try to destroy it.
I mean, I'm guessing that's either a level 2 or high Cosmic Cyclone.
Well, no matter the monster is dead, they always have 0 defense. So
what would have been funny here would have been double Cosmic Cyclone. Like, hey, look, I didn't have close.
For the lance, I will have gone. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's RNG. The fact that he uses
Lens
Cosmic
is
Cycle.
not. Lens is definitely not the
change.
one you wanted to hit. The other one is probably a better hit, but yeah. That's
Exactly.
random.
Or so that's what we guess.
So yeah, again now, like I mean, it's pretty bad start for Cybuster because like no Whirlwind, no Simoon, so pretty stuck with that. Bora at least does piercing damage, which is definitely something helpful in this specific matchup. But you want to be really cautious about what you do. You want to attack because you want to put pressure, especially if Gale is coming up. I'm not even sure that you want to fuse here yet, to synchro, sorry. Like, you just want to attack. You go Bora, try to piercing. You have lethal potential just right there. No, what am I saying? No, you don't, of course. But, now...
They're going to slow down a lot the plays for days. If it doesn't get the correct card.
I mean, now the thing is, now he can go aggressive, actually. Now he can just, like, summon Squire and be like, hey, look, like, just, use whatever you want on him. Because even if now, even if this is negated...
Ooh, okay, now he's actually in a good position.
No problem. He's not even gonna negate this.
Yeah, easily not going to negate. He's going to wait for the effect of the Spectre Sword that is in the graveyard to negate it to block his summons.
Well, the thing is, close is only usable for like when an effect is activated on the field, right? So like, the difference is you can use it on Solitaire because the effect is activated on the skill, but then Solitaire is in the graveyard because it's a cost to tribute. But like, the thing is now you can just wait potentially for like, if the level 8 activated its effect, you can negate the effect, or if it goes up to level 10, you can also do it there. Will make much sense though to
actually,
wait for.
no, I don't think it's only on the field, just by reading the effect of the card. I think it's even in the graveyard you can negate it.
No,
I was
so
verifying
when a monster,
the
no,
effect of the Blackbird
it is when a monster your opponent control activated its effect, so it's on the field.
Well, indeed, this is because they took the new text. Exactly.
Yep.
Because if we take the TCG one, it's not that text.
Oh yeah? What is okay.
Oh, I mean, I do remember that in Duel Links they started to implement different text for each card. Like, for example, Yosenju, you could send face down cards back to the hand, and the card is now restricted to face-up cards.
Interesting.
So I think it's very dumb that they did that. I still don't know why they chosen to change the effects that way, because some of the cards are really going to get worse, and I think the trap for essentially wasn't that cheated, and I think it was fair. But yeah, they just wanted to change it for face-up cards, I guess. So
here we are seeing the one that makes more sense, definitely the level 6. The thing is, Blackbird Close was used. Not really, I'm not a fan at all of using Blackbird Close here. It was not needed because the level 2 comes back anyway. So now you have level 2, level 6, and another level 2 for sure. You basically just prevented the level 2. Like.
Oh no, he's going right for Sun Saga instead of Shogun Saga. All right.
Even one more reason to not use Blackbird Close. Like, the Blackbird Close was way too early. It was. Yeah. It made. I mean, maybe there is a second one, right? But it makes zero.
That would be surprising. That would be surprising. I don't think he has a second one.
No, he's not even gonna use the effect. I mean, why would you take the risk? I mean, there's no reason to push. Like, he knows he wins like this.
Yep.
Like, this makes no sense to me. Like, you don't want to use Blackbird Close that early. Like,
yeah.
No, just no.
I will have waited for like the biggest synchro possible, which is very like useful because you're like ready, put the pressure and maybe destroy the card. Though I do believe if you use it on Sun Saga can protect itself by banishing.
No, Sun Saga can protect, but he wouldn't have used Sun Saga effect most likely. No, it was just like at least.
Well, yeah.
I mean, with this setup, if like Dace would have gone to the level 10 without using the effect, just keep the Blackbird Close. I mean, here you just basically on one side you just lost the monster. Here, here Cybuster would still have a monster. No, he doesn't.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing that changed on the board state. Anyway, it would have been in Sun Saga on the other side because of level dupe or level log or whatever you could use. Would have been the same. Yeah, and that's it. Okay. So this doesn't make sense. Like Shiranui winning Black Wings. I like how this match is like going against the the tier list. Like
well, more going
Shiranui
against the idea
beating
of
Black Wings,
matchups being good,
Black
like a
Wings,
deck A
Black
being
Wings
better than deck B.
Yeah, Black Wings beating Element Sabers, like, you know, the usual things that we see in every tournament. Nope. But sure.
Except mine, but
I mean, I'm not against
that
it.
is common indeed.
I mean, I'm not against it. It's definitely like, you know, it's Shiranui winning, so I vote for that.
Actually, I do believe Forbidden Ones, do they have like... Yeah, they need the win to actually be able to go for the playoffs indeed.
Blackwing still is Shiranui best matchup, no less. I mean...
Yeah, it is. Black Wings is still, in my opinion, better than Shiranui because... I mean,
like,
turn 2,
whatever
if they
the
have
opposite.
banished the correct card or they have anything to actually
yeah, but
send...
I think whoever is saying the opposite is saying that like Shiranui, basically that Shiranui has a good matchup versus Blackwing, which makes I mean,
oh well.
I mean, sure, if Shiranui goes first and has a good hand with like Squire plus like Ballista Squad in the back and everything, sure, but like if there is any moment where the opponent like just puts Necro Valley on the turn 1 with like Ancient Fairy Dragon or anything, you can click on the surrender border 90% of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like exactly how Dicky Bro said. Like this was just a garbage opening for on one side from Cybuster, sadly for him, and Dace just played well by playing around the Blackbird close all the time. There was no need to do any aggressive play or nothing. He was just playing chill and it worked.
Exactly.
So Cybuster is sadly out 0-2 on these bricks, but it's not over. Wayon is now their last player though. He has to do a pretty amazing job here if he wants to come back. He has to go 5-1.
Yeah, which is not going to be an easy task. So right off the bat, Mako Tsunami, which can means he plays balance or means he plays the Christian 30 card deck with Mystic Deaths.
Yep.
And it's going to be Chris Run. So, okay, Dace actually begins first compared to, I believe, Black Wings, who played first before, in my opinion. Hopefully I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So there's going to be the Squire bringing the Spectral Sword, doing Samurai Saga, or also the Arfin. One of these two generally are the synchros that you do at the start, mainly Samurai Saga. Then you put 2 or 1 Spell Trap. No, he goes to the level duplication, so he's going for Shogun Saga 21.
Showing the second Squire like, hey, you know it's semi-limited, right? I don't care, I draw both. Oh god, okay,
Yeah.
if, like, just so you know, right now the chances of like Dace winning this match are like over 80%. He just need like a face down. If he doesn't have a face down, then but he's searching with Squire, so I'm assuming he doesn't have that great of a hand. But like, let's see what he discards.
Generally.
Okay, who cares about Squire, right?
Well,
Makes sense.
I mean,
okay.
you can say that sometimes if they do this move, it's maybe a bad hand, but I mean, in terms of back row, you still have like ways to deal maybe with like what the opponent has. Like all they're looking is just getting a staple. The level 8 is like such a bait that they're going to send it to the graveyard and they'll go for Sun Saga instead.
And Prince in the chat is saying, but now with the new ban list, most of Shiranui deck plays 3 Ballista. Indeed, I'm seeing a lot of Shiranui decks playing 3 Ballista, which is something I will always advocate against, because Ballista is a card that you don't want to see too of. It's like, if you don't have the right setup, Ballista can be a dead card if you don't have the one thing you want to tribute or anything. And on top of that, having 2 is completely horrible, so I started by playing 3 and I really quickly like ditched 1 to play 2, and I wouldn't change it that. But
Alright, so
I'm
there's
seeing a
actually
lot of
nothing on the... There's no answer on the back row of the opponent, otherwise he's using the toggle off.
I mean, now there is no reason to. Now there would be a reason to, but he's not doing it. And now there was a slight delay, I think, on the Umi.
I think he's waiting for the tuner to be summoned.
I mean, he can just. The thing is, he can just wait for the end phase and just ballista squad the tuner there.
That's the thing, if this
Or
happens, that's the
floodgates,
end and Trani
yeah,
wins.
that works. Yeah.
Okay, so he was still able to set another monster as well. And that is a very nice SSA, I do gotta say. So there's going to be Omi back, plus the trap as well is going to be on the field.
I mean, yeah, but it's still. If it ends like this, the field is clearly in the advantage of Dace, though.
Yep, so far. But it depends if he has Ballista.
Yeah, but even.
I'm not
even
really sure he
without
has Ballista because of the answers.
No, but even like he doesn't need to ballista now at all, because he has the level 2 in the grave with level 4, so he can go with the Arc Demon, like the level 6 that prevents from destruction effect, and just push with it.
I wouldn't really say so.
SSA
Because the tuner level 2 you can actually catch up by having a Matrix. It's still fine that you have the tuner in the graveyard actually. Plus, because of the ban list being applied to Crystron, the...
No, I meant the level 2 tuner on Days side, the Spectral Sword.
Oh, you mean on the side of Days?
Yeah, I totally agree with the C3. C3 in the graveyard is not a big deal. You can catch it with the Matrix, that's definitely fine.
And yeah, Bambi, I mean, Crystron is going to be alive. Like, people are still thinking it's dying, but because the SSA version is still okay, it is going to go fine. Lightsworn, though, is going to get a lot of change. So, the Lightsworn version of the deck is going to be more complicated to build, because there's still some limitations on most of the Lightsworn cards. So, I don't know.
It's also that you're like less likely to be able to do the combos with like Crime Gandrax and everything. So, and on top of that, now that you lost, now that you can only play one impact, it's and on only one Ryan, like 1-1 or 2-0. It's hard to play the Lights One build, because if you mill like both Ryan or the only Ryan you have, it's horrible. The one thing here though is like. So yeah, Lens helps.
This is actually very bad.
Like I said here, it's just gonna be a walk in the park for Days. Just like discarding this. Oh my god. Okay. Whatever.
I do have a question though. Like, I just noticed that he activated C stealth attack and the Yumi wasn't spawned on the field, so I think I missed something.
Wait. Did he click?
Ah, okay. No, this is turn 2. He uses C stealth attack. And yeah, Omi wasn't even spawned. Is this due to the chain? Doesn't make sense. How? There was like...
No.
Am I reading this badly?
Why did Umi didn't?
That's what I'm asking. Umi wasn't spawned after the activation of C stealth attack.
They misclicked. Okay. Apparently a misclick.
Oh, that means you can say yes or...
Because I was not reading the chat, but I was like, yeah, no, Umi. Yeah, I mean, doesn't change.
Okay,
it.
so because I don't even have the trap on my list, so
being
that
honest,
means you can activate.
Being honest, guys, it doesn't change anything, because SSA is dead.
That hurts.
When you have the level 10 or the level 6, SSA is just dead. So no, this matchup.
If Umi was on the field,
that's a matchup. Like I still believe SSA Crystron is like a 50-50 matchup, because Shiranui doesn't like. Shiranui doesn't like the Crystron part of the deck, I would say, but the SSA part is like, I don't care.
Yeah, I got to learn something new with the sea stealth attack trap though. So for these guys in chat, thank you very much for the lesson. I guess I learned something today again. Knowledge is welcome.
Well, I mean, you.
But yeah, that's quite
Anyway, you have
strange.
to click on it.
So the reason why you could activate, I say, it's because the text says you can, so you have the option to.
Yeah, you
Which
have
is
to
quite
click
fun.
on. Anyway, you have to click on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I was saying you have to click on it is because of the text. That's all. I was like thinking, why is there this thing? And I was like trying to remember the exact text of the card, but no, everything is fine.
Yeah, now
Shira claps
sadly,
Christian right now. Right now they do.
on the last
Mainly when you're like
deck,
thinking of the post ban list.
Wayon on the very last deck. And
no repeat as well.
They storming the team of Shenhui, and let's go for the potentially the last duel of this match.
I wonder. Ooh, 21 cards as well, so that has to be hero.
Yep.
Also, most of the Ishizu decks you can see, most of them are going to be heroes, actually.
So hold on.
I almost have not seen any Ishizu using DM or anything.
I
Most
mean,
of them
I hope it's not DM, because even if it's heroes, if it's Hero Steel Tombs, I would have way more went Hero Steel Tomb than Christian SSA versus Shiranui, and I'm not even talking about if it's DM. Like, then I don't talk about like for real, but I don't think it's DM.
It's a possible. If they play DM, they'll have to rely on a lot of luck compared to what Hero does. Heroes is like they really have that mechanic, and they don't rely on that much luck, except if they have maybe a mass change in the hand. So he's going for the Stratos, the classic, just as a monster.
Yeah, I would have went for heroes way more than SSA, and I agree, Buns. The Christian versus Shiranui matchup is really like worse for the person going second. That's definitely a fact. But I would say that when you play as a Shiranui player, if you back in the days when you would play like versus a pure Christian, it's way more difficult than if you are playing versus like a Christian SSA version. Of course, anyway, Christian can definitely beat Shiranui, like especially if you play like some tech cards or like just Lancias or anything. But overall, as a Shiranui player, you prefer to play versus the SSA version because part of the deck is useless against you, well, almost useless, and better than rather than the normal Christian where every single card on your opponent deck is the card you hate. Yeah, of course. Heroes are better as last decks, true.
But there's no Aster Phoenix. We have Ichizu Ishtar.
That's fine. He's just gonna mass change and let's go.
Oh, that's a very good chain here. That is almost free win. Almost. Alright, he gets the polymerization. I do believe he's going to go for Adoration for sure.
Yep. Now if you're a main Wayon, you go for Trinity.
You don't even need Trinity, you can go for Adoration.
You don't need it, but...
yeah, I mean, to be cool.
Trinity is not the hero you need, it's a hero you deserve. Yep, too bad. Adoration.
And then Anki is going to be attacking first. And that is pretty much it.
Yep.
That is going to be the Gamboom by Way 1.
9-6. Not over yet.
Exactly.
Daisy's out.
I think
they
they
have
still
to bring
have a
another
way
one.
to come back. Like Hero is very good as a deck, so they can still play around most of the decks.
Yeah, and let's not forget,
I think
heroes
if they
always
get
win
second,
at the end.
they have more chances to win than being first.
Yeah, of course.
In my opinion. But when you're first, there's still some few ways you can deal with the feel of your opponent.
Yeah. I mean, there are some setups, like some nice chill setup when you just like summon 3 monsters and you have everything you want for your combo in hand. So there are ways.
Exactly. Also, one thing I've been interested always is like most of the players they would like set 3 monsters on the field, and let's say they have Plasma on the hand, but they just don't want to summon Plasma already. I actually would love to know why they don't already go for Plasma, since it negates any monster effect on the field. So, because imagine you let your opponent do the plays, he puts the monster effect, boom, with Shiranui, Squire, I'm special summoning a tuner, and etc. He does his plays, then he puts the spells and traps, and then what happens is you summon Plasma, and you just get like floodgated or just Raigeki breaked or anything to destroy the Plasma. I think if you go for the summon of Plasma, it is not bad, because you just control over the monster effects. That's how I feel it.
Definitely agree, but I mean, we're gonna see now if he's able to clutch that. I mean, he needs to go 4-0, right? That's basically what you have to do to rank up to Legend 1, so doable. Let's see if he can do it though. Okay, this is not looking promising. That's a given. Okay, Nero is the new opponent, new challenger. So let's see. He's bringing the SSA, Crystron. And yeah, let's see what he can do with it. But I would say the matchup is definitely pretty decent for SSA here. You can still be kind of surprised by Plasma, but Plasma is not enough usually, because SSA can get rid of Plasma, basically. And yeah, I would still give the matchup to Crystron, but with a really good setup and a really aggressive turn 3, Heroes can totally win this. So, let's see. Setup is, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good setup. You have the 3 monsters, Vion Search, the Malicious is in the grave, so you are set up. Like, here, Wayon is set up for, like, aggressive plays. Oh, Cosmic Cyclones, yeah, that's... okay, that's a mass change. I was, like, hoping he didn't set the polymerization. He didn't, so... Mass change is fun. Oh, mass change on the elemental hero Strato, so that means it won't be Enki, that means it's gonna be the big boy Blast. And Blast is definitely helpful in this matchup because you can get rid of back row, and not only back row, well, you have the effect on the monsters, of course, but on top of that, you can get rid of like spell trap card, so can be Umi as well. So let's see, the Gen X Undyne sending, like, that's usual combo. Gen X Undyne sending the, of course, Sulfafnir in the graveyard, searching for the Gen X controller. You want to use the SSA versions way more now, because since Ryan is now semi-limited, as is Impact now, either you play 1-1 or you play 2-0. But since Impact is a pretty cool card, you can also play 1 Ryan and then play the SSA version to have 2 Gen X controllers, so 2 level 3 tuners, and be able to still do Quarren Gandrax combos in an easier way than you would do with like only 1 Ryan, right? Because it's pretty complicated to do 1 Ryan.
I think it's still complicated to go for some Quarren Gandrax, mainly with the Banless and Hit, since you need to think how you will build the new Crystron. So like in case you wanted to do it with Ryan, there are still ways you can do it with Scyther instead. So some ways of doing the synchro isn't really there, but definitively I think I'm still pretty mad about that ban list over Crystron, because I will have understood Crystron Impact semi-limited to 3, which is going to block you from like always using Cosmic Cyclone, and I will have been fine, but they went for semi-limited to 2, which is so worse because Ryan is hit to semi-limited to 2, blocking a lot of ways to play the deck.
When Blast, of course, using its effect to bounce back the card in hand, not on my watch. Now, of course, gonna use the effect again for Umi as well, because why not? On top of that, what does that allow you to do? Wait, 3,000 life points. Well, it would have allowed in the past to use something, but your opponent used Cosmic Cyclone, so Nero is also a 3,000. Not that easy.
Oh, come on, I noticed that I said something limited to 3.
Yeah, just keep doing it. The more you trigger Alec, the happier I am. That's fine. Just go for it.
Yeah. So with that kind of field,
I mean, here just summon Plasma and win, right?
It doesn't seem that he has a mass change.
No, he used one. He has the polymerization. He has the malicious engrave that we know, and yeah, just polymerization helps. The problem here is polymerization can only do so much. Like Citri's there are level 3s in the grave, so he can just go for a Matrix pretty easily.
Right, uses the buy-in, uses increase as well for the adoration. I think he's going to reduce the stats of Thyzer, and as doing it for side tree is a bit useless.
Yeah, tough situation here for Wayon, because I mean the big win condition that you have in this matchup, in that when the Crystron player gets going, is basically to summon Plasma to stop the whole thing. That's extremely nice to say, but there is no Plasma here. He might not even run it, so the second opener, like the second opening that he has, is potentially using Blast again and again to get to 2,000 life points and still Tomb. That's another one. But here, I mean,
it will be late, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Because this turn, you can say that he's going to try to get like to 2,000 life point, and so far in this turn he doesn't have the chances.
No.
He'll have to wait the next turn to be able to do so. So what we badly need is the bait to actually use the mass change on one of his monster to then attack the correct enemy to get another mass change. Then you're able to do some direct attacks.
When is Team Wars final? I'm seeing the question in the chat. You have time for that. There is first gonna be the whole wild card, and then the playoffs, and then at the end of the playoff, the final. The one thing here though is, thanks to Celestial, he was able to do true cards, so assuming there might be a mass change in hand or face down, which could be interesting to push for some damage and just wait for after the Matrix effect, because obviously here everything is gonna go to death. Like this. Okay. And no mass change, no nothing, just passing. Okay.
I think Rosenix will be ideal.
If
he has Rosenix, in my opinion, I think he's in a good spot.
I mean, here is a pretty decent spot. Like, I would just, if he can, I would just like, and I'm 99% sure he can. I would just go like Black Rose and win this.
True.
But the thing is, oh wait, but it's an SSA version, so let me rephrase. I would just go Bryonak and win this.
Maybe tough. So, all right. So he's doing what I was thinking. Brings Ryan.
Oh, okay, that's another.
And
that's a
what
bigger
I thought.
Bryonak.
Yeah, very nice. Going for the Guardian Gandrax with that kind of field.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool. There's still the back row though, but
which is a mass change, sadly, but at least he's going to be able to play with these cards and banish them. So I think two things are going to happen. He may want to go for increase first and then go for the mass change. I think he can also play just one card. He doesn't need to even use the mass change yet.
Yeah, if you use
okay,
mass change here,
nice.
you pretty much just like lose it. Umi, okay, that's okay. So putting back Umi, Christian, because he hasn't used any of the combos, so Sophie is also.
Well, do not tell me he's going to go for what I'm thinking, destroying Quarring. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to destroy his own Quarring Gandrax. Because since you destroy your own Quarrying Gendrax, you can still take one of the monsters from your opponent.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Smiger.
that would have been trolling more than
Okay,
anything.
destroys.
Oh, it was a Cosmic Cyclone.
That is a huge bait there. That is a really good bait. Even I got
Yeah,
baited because I thought it's going to be a massive change, but it is not.
Yeah, and that was... Yeah, he could have just went for like Rosenix effect. Pop the token.
Well,
but...
he doesn't have Rosenix on the field, he has a Smiger instead.
No, but I mean the Rosenix in the graveyard effect.
Wait, sorry, let me see the graveyard because I think I've already slept.
No, there is. He just discarded it with Silverfield just before.
Yeah.
So he could have went
And-
Rosenix. He could have went Rosenix effect, put the token, use Smiger effect on the token, summon something.
And I don't think this works actually. I do believe you cannot use the effect of Smiger on a token. The only one that can pop it is actually Self-Near. No. Wait, I'm wrong.
No,
Oh, I'm confused.
I'm 99% sure you can.
Yeah, I'm confused. That's why.
It's just that the
I'm
token cannot be used by himself. Like you cannot tribute the token, but destroy the token is fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's more like I know Self-Near destroys it, and Smiger I believe does it as well. It's more like,
yeah, they all destroys.
I remember there were like situations where I'm trying to use the effect and I cannot actually destroy the token to then special summon.
It's more like if you want to econ take or stuff like this, I think. But here, like lol rip, yep, lens, and that's basically it. Yeah, the matchup is so in the advantage of SSA, and that's it, guys, for this match. That's it for the week 10 of these two teams. Armades Army taking the victory here, 10-6. Congrats to Armades Army. They had a better start, so I guess they had a better start, so I guess it's in some ways only right that they take
both
the game.
still did good. The first first half is like always, both of the teams will be close, and that's what I usually say. The second round is entirely different. It's where you're going to get pressure.
Yeah,
so
but I mean
anything can happen.
Yeah,
and
props to like
sadly,
KW for the
DCs
comeback.
also are going to penalize. Like there was one DC in the match, and in my opinion, any DC that happens to one team, I'm not going to lie that it's hard to come back actually.
Yeah, but I mean, props to KW, who just deserves, who was able to make his team come back.
Big up to both teams for this entire match. Big up to both teams.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great match. Well, sadly, guys, we won't ask for any interview because I actually have to go do some stuff right now, so I'm gonna have to cut that stream. I was gonna say cut that stream short, but it's been actually like 2 hours and 20 minutes, so short is not really the good definition. Anyway, thanks a lot, of course, to the viewers, to the players, and to Disturbia for joining me on the cast. Two weekends of baguettes, so that's
yeah, exactly.
pretty good. Who knows? Maybe a third baguette next time. You know, three times the charm.
I know, I know I can actually play with my schedule, and I'm generally fine. So it will be good, and I'll try to see when I can maybe cast again with you.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Also see myself with the games I'm going to cast. But yeah,
maybe and now it's gonna be wild cards and playoffs, because of course there are some more matches that are coming up right now, right? Like this week 10 is not over. There are some few matches left, so of course go check the other matches. I think some stream already went live on personal channels of some streamers, so go check them out. Of course, I'll probably let a mod host, but on top of that, I mean, there's gonna be wildcard and playoff. We are getting to the most interesting part of Teamwise right now, to be honest, and so don't forget to tune in every single weekend because things are getting crazier and crazier every week. Thanks a lot again for watching. This was Disturbia and Aankara, and we are out. Peace.